Hello and welcome back to the Gentleman's Journal podcast. I'm Joe Bullmore, the editor of Gentleman's Journal, and I'm sitting here today with Harry Jarman, my colleague and boss at Gentleman's Journal, to discuss this, which is our 50th issue of the magazine. And we talk about some of the amazing things and amazing people inside of it, as well as some memories over the last 50 issues.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Harry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Let's try that again.
I'm very well. I'm very well, and I'm very excited to be talking
About the 50th issue.
50 issues of Gentleman's Journal,
Which is
50
kind of
print
amazing.
issues.
We made it.
We made it. Is that what we were going for?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's quite a accomplishment, as you put in your editor's letter.
Yeah, that's quite a nice editor's letter, actually. You get
Yeah, I
a
know you were
mention.
bit flattery on my behalf.
It's always good. 50. Before we talk about the 50th, why don't we talk about the first ever issue? Do you remember the first issue of Gentleman's Journal?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've got one issue that I keep
Okay.
as a reminder.
Of how far you've come.
I'd never open it, but I look at the cover was a Terry O'Neill picture.
It's not a bad start.
It was great, which he knew my mum and gave it to me royalty free, I think.
Wow.
But, you know, I was 24 trying to start a magazine.
Yeah.
So I think he was trying to be like super nice. But then I also realised that I misspelt one of the bylines on the cover.
Not Terry O'Neill's.
No, not
That'd be the
Terry
ultimate
O'Neill's.
insult.
But yeah, and then inside it was all wrote on my laptop using a thing called Photoshop.
You designed the
I
layout
designed
on
it.
Photoshop.
I designed it, put the whole thing together. Bit weirdly, you know, very much the essence is still there today.
I was going to say, I reckon there are things from that first issue.
100%.
It was Sean Connery on the front, wasn't it?
It was Sean Connery. I think it was behind the scenes of Dr. No,
Yeah.
and it was an image that I don't think. There's the famous one of him sticking his tongue out.
Yeah.
This was not. This was like, I think it was probably like shot just before this
From the same set, yeah.
and it was from the same set. Hadn't been used that much. I seem to think there was a film coming out. I want to say Skyfall.
Okay.
No, it might have been older. It would have been older. But it was
12.
basically Celebrate Bond, and still today, like I think most of the brands we work with are very much in that staple.
Yeah.
So
Bond adjacent.
I don't think, yeah. So like, and obviously, yeah, 50 years. It's a very different magazine because you're now behind it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, as you say, the essence is still there. There was probably lots of yachts in the first one, wine,
Yeah,
nice things,
actors interviews, great British brands,
entrepreneurs, watches.
So yeah, it's all still there.
Okay. Well, I hope
now
we're
we're on issue 50.
49 issues later. I hope
Who knows? Do you think there'll be 50 more? That's
I don't know. That would be remarkable.
It would be.
That seems actually quite terrifying. I joined, I think, at issue 36
Okay.
or 37.
Really? What was your
No.
What was your first issue?
My first issue was a bit of a Frankenstein because I got there very late in the issue cycle.
Okay.
For reasons we don't need to go into. And we had Jeremy Renner on the cover, who's great. But I don't know if I would do it like that again. It was a red background.
No, that wasn't my
Not-
favorite. That wasn't
Not keen on coloured backgrounds.
That wasn't my favorite cover.
Um,
What has been your favorite cover? Like
favourite
now,
cover
we
ever.
feel like we're on an anniversary. Although
Here we
we're trying to give you a preview of the
Yeah.
of the issue. But
We're
what was
living in the past.
what was your favorite?
Favourite cover, the one that comes to mind straight away is Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, it's great. That was done during COVID.
During COVID, at his house in Malibu, sunglasses,
And
blue Californian sky.
yeah, we should have sold that to Purcell. It's like an ad campaign.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Purcell's on the
Yeah.
his grey.
Never got a
back hair.
thank you for that from Purcell.
Maybe not.
No.
Not even a
Very
spare, a
rude.
free pair of
Very rude.
holding Purcells. Well, to the future then, and
Yeah.
the present.
So here we are.
I'm holding this issue in front of me. There's so much we could talk about. Would you want to start vaguely at the start? And
Let's
do some
start. I mean,
highlights?
like this issue, like I'm really, I love this issue. It's very summary. Obviously, it's summer issue, and it's like it's quite positive. But yeah, like obviously the portfolio section, we have done what we do is a little snapshot of everything.
Yeah.
So wine, I think we looked into Whispering Angel,
Yes.
which is really interesting. We've had a long relationship with them, but I think this year is the final year that they've sold the business.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, and it's also their anniversary. It's 20 years.
20 years since their first vintage. It's their 20th vintage.
And you're a
kind
you're a rosé baron yourself. You've got your own rosé.
I'm
We're not the BBC.
failed rosé baron in many
But
ways.
they were the original, and they've done a pretty phenomenal job. Sacha Lachine.
Yeah, this is his Sasha's
Okay.
final vintage. A man everyone describes as full Staffian or, I don't know, a proper bon vivant, old
He's
school.
a proper bon vivant.
Seems to have it all worked out and has now put together the final vintage. And as I say, and I mean this as a compliment, my opening line is there were rosés before there was Whispering Angel, but only in the way that there were colas before there was Coke.
It's kind of
As
true.
in, it is the rosé. And every other rosé, even if they sell more bottles of it, really what people are thinking of when they think of modern Provence rosé is Whispering Angel.
Whispering Angel.
And the genius of the name, which, yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be some.
It's one of those luxury brands that should be like a Harvard marketing.
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be.
But-
Lots of NAF titles like In the Pink, which we've used for their theses. But I think, yeah, this is the final vintage done by him. I say it may become a little bit of a collector's item.
Yeah.
Because it is the most iconic rosé in the world.
And then we looked at, like, we did our usual watch chat at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There was seemed to be like a theme of like salmon dials. One being a Vacheron overseas salmon dial, which came out of Watches and Wonders, which is a very sexy watch. I don't think you can. I think that I'm pretty sure they're sold out already.
Yeah,
but it's
ultra thin. There was 255 of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gone.
You missed them.
However, it's what we call in the industry a flex watch.
Flex watch.
A flex watch.
Yeah.
You just look at it and you're like, that's a very nice watch.
Okay.
And then the guy will have a really a smug smile on his face.
So where would you see that in the wild then? Who do you reckon is wearing that this time?
I reckon it's a bit like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
If you bought 5 of them before, they might offer you one.
Okay.
But we were in their club on Bond Street the other day with a group of lovely people, and funny enough, it wasn't being offered out, and I was like, "Where's Salmon Dial?" And they're like, "We don't need to sell that one." So anyway, but yeah, it's a beautiful watch, and I think that was one of my top picks.
And it's bold and different. I mean, if you're going for...
I think Brad Pitt's probably got one. He's a big Vacheron fan.
Okay.
So I think he's probably he's probably bought into one.
But the salmon's cool because it's not... Yeah, that's not what you'd go to traditionally.
Also, would just age really well. It's like a patina, and the overseas they have a very cool strap change, so you can just put it on a rubber strap.
Nice.
And
jump off your...
It's a jump off your yacht somewhere.
Got one.
And then I think car-wise, we did the Ferrari Testarossa before Ferrari became controversial this year. But this is the car before they came out. What's the other one? The Lucy?
Lusso. Yeah.
Lusso, which has obviously had a big controversy.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's strange because looking at the Testarossa, I mean, someone much more qualified than me will be able to comment. There seems to be a similar DNA in like the front end that you can see that they're the same sort of thing, and yet one has been much better received than the other.
Yeah, I think that the Testarossa, I think it's a cool car. I like it.
I mean, yeah,
I think it's going to age well. It's quite bold design.
It's Adam Hay Nichols and 1,036 brake horsepower. I sort of didn't even know cars went that much. That's like a tractor.
It's a powerful car, but it's also like it's got the front like the old Ferrari Dino.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty sexy shoe.
Beautiful.
And then I did an article on Todd's.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
The Todd's Gamino loafer.
Yeah, which is kind of like
icons.
It's like one of the icons. We've done lots on it before. I did a sort of deep dive into its history, and I mean, again, a bit like Whispering Angel.
Yeah.
There are driving shoes, and then there's the Todd's.
That's it.
Driving shoe, and I think like loads of people have copied it. I think they were on the original. It's them and Car Shoe really.
Yeah.
But Todd's have sort of dominated that market, and it was made famous like by people like Gianni Agnelli and all these other people, and royalty as well. We've sort of done a bit more of a deep dive on it online as well with just who's worn it. But yeah, that's celebrating.
And they are. I mean, they're a very unique shoe. They're almost beautifully impractical.
Yeah.
Suede soles with those rubber.
They don't last that long.
No, they don't.
No, I mean, to be fair, I think they do last long.
They're very well made.
I have a really old pair that I wouldn't necessarily like because it's just got too many splashes on the suede now.
Right.
But they're like a really they're very comfortable,
Buttery soft.
and I wear them a lot.
Yeah.
But there is the thing like when you get that first drop of something on it or at a party,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh,
That's it.
oh.
Yeah, it begins.
It's
when
not great.
when I was growing up, the boy at my school who was the most kind of interesting, globe-trotting European kid, he would wear to school, flaunting the dress code every single day. He'd wear a different pair of brightly coloured yellow, green, or red.
Yeah,
and he'd just get told off.
It's quite strong to wear those for your school.
It's unbelievable as a 16-year-old to be doing that. And I'd never
was he English or was he like Italian?
He was English Italian.
Okay, English.
I'd never seen this before, and this kid was he'd rock up every day with those.
Yeah,
get told off.
Still friends now? Do you still wear that? Still wear?
We're not. I wish I actually saw him in New York. He's a very nice boy, but yeah, that struck me, and that was I was like, wow, okay, what are these shoes?
Yeah,
this is quite a debonair.
And then we go on to Tudor. I went to Saudi Arabia at the beginning of the year.
Wow.
To the Dakar rally, which has nothing to do with Dakar anymore. It's currently in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But it basically has moved around. It's been like South America.
Okay.
It started off as obviously the famous Paris Dakar.
Yeah.
And actually Saudi, it's kind of it's found its place because the terrain is perfect for this race. Obviously, it helps that the Saudis are probably putting in a lot of money.
Do they? Yeah.
And Tudor have just become, which is a brand we talk about lots.
Yeah.
Gentleman's Journal has just become the official timekeeper, and
Okay.
they invited me out right at the beginning of the year, and it was kind of amazing.
So what you
I went.
Raced, didn't it? Raced the stage?
No, but we went and watched all the stages.
Okay.
Got to sample some of the Saudi hospitality.
Yes.
And it was just really cool. I mean, it's amazing to see a country like that. I think the country's like very much on the cusp of something pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They're really embracing everything.
I mean,
there's obviously a lot of negatives that come with it and everything else.
Of course.
But yeah, it was really cool to see. And then this car race, which I would say is probably one of like the ultimate endurance races. I mean, like, and it's also one of the things that there's a real mixture of people. You have really like Carlos Sainz's father still racing it, and then we just met these guys who were thought they would fancy their chances, and they were like,
amateurs.
There was actually like 2 English women that we met who were in an old Land Rover.
Wow.
And they were just like doing it. And I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Which I don't think there's many, you can't get into a Formula 1 car.
No.
And go and race.
But so you and I could next year,
if we wanted to,
we could get in.
Maybe ask Tudor to sponsor our team.
Here we go.
And
let's start seeding that.
And we can go and do it. But Tudor were, and it's very much driving their Ranger watch, which is their sort of military inspired watch.
Yeah, I can see it on a beautiful NATO strap.
Yeah, exactly.
Very handsome.
And then after that, we did a lot on our top hotels, villas.
Yeah.
Sophia actually put all this together. And I don't know about you, but like, I mean, there's a lot of hotels opening, aren't there?
Yeah, all over the shop.
I mean, I feel like you get one in your inbox every.
Yeah, and you sort of think, how is there enough room in particularly in Rome and in London? There seems to be a new 5-star luxury group opening something up.
Yeah, I basically think there's a big thing here. Like, like LVMH have obviously bought Bellman, Cheval Blanc. Then you have, there's like the Ferragamo family have like portrait hotels and lots of other things. Basically, everything says that luxury is becoming experience. And I think like if it's anything going on like the pace it is at the moment, it's insane. And it's a bit like we talk about members clubs all the time. Like, is there demand for this? I mean, there obviously is. And I think, look, if you look around Europe now, any nice hotel, it's very probably hard to book a room in it. Say that, we're currently in July, about to go into August. It's probably quite hard. But I think it's a trend that's going to carry on.
Absolutely.
And especially in Europe, I think it's a strong one. So, and then we did top private villas as well, because a lot of these hotel chains are also going into these private residences. So the Marbella Club has a whole suite of private residences.
Beautiful.
Hotel de Cap, they've opened a private residence, and I think that's now becoming like catering for this Uber
Yeah.
Uber luxury.
People who sort of want hotel facilities, but a bit of privacy and space and your own pool. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, all of these.
Yeah. So that was like the whole portfolio section, I think,
Yeah.
which I think was good. It was anyway a nice introduction to the magazine,
Yes.
and then we did a lot of interviews.
A lot of interviews.
A lot of interviews. I don't really know where to start. I mean, there was a lot here, but I will start with I think one of my favourites, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he's quite icon. Would we call him an icon?
I think we call him an icon. He's kind of one
he's
of
a cult
one,
figure.
isn't he?
Cult figure.
Cult figure. I mean, but for us growing up in the 90s, his story arc was kind of remarkable. Like the most successful child actor of all time.
Yeah.
But that obviously always comes with difficulties. I think it's a very hard thing to sustain.
Yeah.
And now he's come out the other side as this sort of, as Johnny Wells puts in this lovely interview, this kind of remarkably happy, well-adjusted, interesting man.
There's also like, for those, like we're doing this as a podcast, but go on the website and watch the video.
Yeah.
Because the video was just like, I think it was one of the best videos we've done this year. It was really like humbling. And he turned up to the shoot by himself.
Yeah.
With no agent, no publicist. So the guys were shooting in Place Vendôme at this beautiful new boutique hotel. Owned by the Chauffolet family that owned Chopin.
Yeah. And
we were shooting there and he just walked in like by himself. No mind is nothing. And I think that says a lot about a person. We do talent shoots all the time.
Yeah.
They do come with a terrible entourage. No, but most, these people actually cause more problems than they do solving. Sorry, I'm not going to go on a rant, I promise you. But, it just says a lot about talent when they're like, hey guys, and I would say the shoot is probably a lot better because of that.
Yeah, I think so.
I would say. So, yeah.
Yeah, and he looks great, and I love
we dressed him with some cool stuff. Like, he was wearing a lot of, like, New and Lingwood, Tom Sweeney, these great brands. And he was being, like, really, honest. Yeah. He was very honest about it.
Very honest and open.
And I think the cool thing is he's obviously in, like, a very cool space at the moment.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm pretty happy in my life.
Yeah.
And which I think, considering the life he's had has been pretty full on.
Yeah, I think that's one way to put it. No, I love that. And it's one of those unexpected, there's people everyone knows, but you don't often hear from. He's not doing many interviews.
Yeah.
But he looms very large, I think, in all of our memories and childhoods. So, yeah.
So, what should we go to next? I mean, what was another highlight for you interview-wise?
Well, I had a lovely time with Jack Whitehall, which isn't hard. Jack is a very nice, fun guy. And actually, we did an interview and shoot with him, which was one of our digital cover shoots. We did that in, what's it called? The Jumeirah
Hotel.
Jumeirah Hotel.
Carlton Tower.
The Carlton Tower Jumeirah with Jack. And the interview sort of got completely derailed by the fact that he wouldn't remember it, but I was 2 years below him at school when we were growing up.
Did you tell him that?
You
fanboyed him?
I told myself I wasn't going to.
And then you did?
About our prep schools. But actually, it was kind of a genius way in because we got onto it. I promise I didn't bring it up. It was very natural. He mentioned school and I said that. And then we spoke about some teachers who we had who were remarkable.
Oh, God, I cannot believe you opened.
One who was the head of art, who was formidable. She was an amazing potter. But she was, and anyone who went to the Dragon School in Oxford will know her. Her name was Gay Fanny Sturt, which is a strong name and a very good brand. But as an 8-year-old boy coming into that, and she was this kind of larger-than-life figure who was quite formidable and scary, but also wonderful. So we got talking about her, and it sort of took us on a completely different tangent. But sometimes when you're interviewing someone, those very strange points of connection can mean you're not just sort of, touching on the same old things and going to the same life.
That broke the ice then in a good way.
If there was any ice to break, I don't think Jack has much ice. I think he's very uniquely warm.
Yeah.
But we were talking about his TV show, The Burbs,
yeah,
which is a Sky show he was doing, which is all about a kind of a seemingly nice middle-class suburb in America. But obviously all is not what it seems below the surface.
Yeah.
So for two very highly middle-class boys to be talking about that, it kind of gets you in interesting places. So it's a really, really nice interview. And yeah, he's good. I mean, he's looking better than ever. He's a very, very handsome man these days, Jack.
Yeah.
So I love that, and it was very, very good.
Good.
If only just for me to go down memory lane with him. It was a self-indulgent
Great.
interview, at least.
Great. And then we did Tom Blythe, the actor,
Yes.
who's sort of like, I would say he's bubbling away, becoming sort of like the new British leading man.
Yeah.
He's cool, like lovely guy, and doing some great roles.
Yeah.
Again, we did a great interview with him. Count Nikolai, who's sort of like become a fashion darling. He's part of the Danish royal family.
Yes.
Um,
Count Nikolai Montpezat.
Yeah, it's quite
one of the all-time good names.
It's quite a name. But actually, again, like, part of the Danish royal family, but worked for Dior and all these other things. Super lovely guy.
Lovely guy.
That was just lovely. Like, I wasn't on the thing, but the team come back and they were like, what a really nice.
Yeah, very charming. And
I think we should only interview nice people now.
Well, it'd be nice. Yeah. Well, I think we're doing pretty well.
We get a few wrong. No, we won't name shame.
But no, I think he's remarkably, just very down to earth and ambitious and curious young man.
Yeah.
Who I think is going to be.
He's cool. He's got a cool style as well.
He's going to be very successful.
And then we went to New York. Dana.
Oh, yeah.
Dana Brown of Vanity Fair fame and Fred Castleberry. They did a little interview with Matt Friend.
Yeah.
Who I would say he's blowing up. He's blown up. He's already huge.
Everyone will know him as the amazing impressionist who will sort of does a lot of
Jeff
Oscars, red carpets, and will
Jamie Foxx and Jeff Goldblum
will do. Yeah, it's uncanny though. I mean, it's
to do their faces. He also did the King the other day. I don't think he got the King that well.
Very specific.
Yeah, very specific. But his Jeff Goldblum is very good,
remarkable, and he does it to the stars when he sees them.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like a magic trick. They can't quite believe what's going on.
Yeah,
it's very eerie, and it's sort of an ingenious way to do a red carpet interview because it knocks people right off kilter. But yeah, it's one of those things. Impressions. When you see someone doing good impression, it's honestly, it's like
hard.
Yeah, you'd be burned as a witch.
Yeah,
if you did that 1,000 years ago. Thankfully, Matt remains unburned. And there was a very nice, fun out to lunch interview they did over in Manhattan,
which is cool.
And Dana, by the way, I should say, has got now running a wonderful new restaurant newsletter about New York called Caper.
I've signed up to
it. Yeah. Get it every many days a week.
Good.
And it's I sort of wish they'd do it over here.
Well, I mean, it is. It's digital. It's a newsletter.
Yeah,
it's global.
But I think they should do in London.
Why didn't you become the editor?
There we go, Dana, if you're listening.
Yeah, I mean, you've got enough editorships. And then last but not least, we went and interviewed the Tom Sweeney guys, who are great and doing. Tom Sweeney's a brand that keeps growing and growing and growing. They've just opened up a flagship in New York.
Yeah,
they've made they made tailoring quite accessible on Savile Row.
Definitely.
They've sort of taken they're obviously a British tailor, but I would say they're more Italian, slightly in their style.
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
I think so. They've just. Yeah,
they've hit a market and nailed it.
Yeah, they really have. And also, it's one of those things which sometimes it looks like these things come up overnight, but when you talk to them, and I interviewed them, it's amazing how sort of slow and steady they've gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an overnight success.
It'd be 20
Well, they say every overnight success, takes 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
To happen.
But 20 years old, and when they started out, they were in a windowless, damp basement by their own admission. And now, as you say, they've got a beautiful shop just off Savile Row and then an amazing Manhattan flagship. And
LA, I think, as well.
And LA, yeah. And you sort of think, they deserve it all.
Yeah, no, they're cool.
They've stuck at it.
And then on to House Notes, which is our little middle section, which is your section, really, whatever pops into your head.
Yeah, small essays, little digressions.
So we had a few things. David Jones, famous photographer.
My favourite photographer of all time,
explain his type.
He was a young man who was living in Oxford and then started sort of going around the Oxford balls, which are still pretty debauched affairs, but in the 80s when he was shooting them were these kind of wild bacchanalians, which before camera phones, no one ever really shot them before.
Yeah.
And people were let loose. And because people were much less
worried about someone taking pictures.
Exactly. People really played up to the camera, or he caught candid moments, or people just didn't expect to be photographed. And so it's the most incredible document. And he started shooting for Tatler, for the Times, for all these different publications, and still has this treasure trove of balls at Oxford, at Cambridge, parties all around the world, which he's still. There are new photos coming out. He's got tens of thousands of these, some of which have never seen the light of day. And I think
they're great.
Yeah, this is his new book, just on Cambridge balls. But any one of these photos is iconic. There's a photo of these guys in black tie jumping over burning boats in Cambridge, which is one of their traditions. There's one which is taken at about 4 a.m.
How old would he have been then? He would have been at the same age.
Yeah, maybe early 20s, 21, 22. Yeah. So very much as young as many of these people in the photos.
And he was just sitting there with a film
Just
camera.
walk around, and these things go from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. and catching every stage of the debauchery. But there's one photo which is, it must be 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, first light. And there are some punts with people in dishevelled black tie going down the river, and then there is just a Fiat 500 inexplicably floating in the middle of the river, and it's just as a sort of symbol of how wild and weird these things got. Is wonderful. But he's got the most amazing eye, and I think documenting a very niche slice of society, no one did it better, and he's still doing great photos now.
It's a great book.
So I love that.
And then Ed Cumming wrote a piece for us, which
on pizza factionalism, which talk about niche, but actually maybe not, because London right now seems to be a place of every week a new sort of pizza place opens up. Crisp was the first one, and that's
but it's all about this perfect. I think they're trying to copy the New York thing.
Exactly, but what they have done and what people now describe that as, and I'm sure I'm going to get this wrong and offend people, that is now London style pizza. So Crisp is the front runner of London style, which is different to New York because it's slightly thicker. The base is done in a different way. I don't know. There's much more experts on it.
So he's done a deep dive.
He's done a deep dive on it, but it's remarkable.
What's the synopsis after this? Like, what's the end point of view?
Well, just that it's just going to get ever more specific. I think that we have Detroit style pizza places, Chicago. Obviously, you've got Neapolitan, Naples, London now, New York, Roman style pizza places, and there's then places sort of getting quite avant-garde but still using traditional techniques. There's Bar Etna, which is in East London, which is a remarkable place. And they do sort of things like, quite unusual toppings on there. But it's brilliant. New Haven style, New England style. I'm just looking at this. We have very specific pizza styles for what is, from the outside, quite a standard snack.
Nice.
But his point is that 10 years ago, we had pretty much Pizza Express, and maybe Franca Manca was like a avant-garde crazy thing. Yeah. And now you could get pizza from any stripe and description. Who knows where it's going? I still love
a Pizza Express. I'm partial.
Pizza Express.
I'm partial.
Not much wrong with
it.
But
there is, there's a lot. Crisp is good though.
Crisp is undeniably brilliant. Yeah,
really well.
Delicious.
And then we did 2 big fashion shoots. One I did. Yeah, I took the lead on this. I don't know why. I did one down in Salcombe.
Yeah,
which was great. With Noah. Actually, Noah Sapun shot both of these.
Yeah.
So we did one in the north coast of Mallorca, which is like I would say understated. Everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
But like it's lesser known than say Ibiza or. But anyway, it's beautiful. It's slightly more refined. So we did all the summer shoot there, and then we went down to Salcombe in June, which I think is a good time to go. Which is they call it the English Riviera. I think that.
Do they? Is that we need to brand it? Is that?
I don't know.
To be fair, with heat waves and weather as it is, like it's not long till
that
Devon is.
Yeah,
really,
you reckon that's gonna be the new Saint-Tropez, is it?
Yeah, by now. Actually, can't even by now. It's way too late.
But we did a lot of great, and again, like celebrated all the brands we love. So
and the Mallorca shoot, you very sadly had to go out there for 2 weeks.
I mean it was for 2 weeks. I went out there for a recce before.
Yes, and so important to do a recce.
Yeah, always important.
And it can't be one day.
Yeah, they had a very nice hotel.
Yeah.
Just to check everything was okay.
Yeah, check the light.
Check the classic car.
Check it's working.
Yeah, but everything worked, and then the whole crew came out and then came back to London.
There you go.
No, but that was super lovely.
It looks like fun.
And we actually worked with some like friends of ours called Barrow Project who actually do all the development for the beautiful house out there.
Okay.
So they lent us. They own the beautiful clay tennis courts, which is on our front cover.
Yeah.
And so they were basically helping us out and giving us all the access to make this really cool shoot.
Yeah.
And we had some great models. Mallorca one being Morgan, who's like currently the face of everything, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, he's done amazing.
And then Harry Gossett, who we worked with loads before. So he did Down and Salcombe as well, which is
yeah.
But anyway, love
And
them.
I notice there's this new brand of Oxford shirts
Which,
stuck in there.
Don't know.
H. Elliot.
Don't know. It's
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know. It's really nice.
It's
and
very
remarkable value.
Good.
H-
and then we did
HLA.com.
some watches down there as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Very
good.
After that, I got you to look back at 50 issues.
Yeah.
This is actually my favorite article.
It is good. This was almost.
It goes to show you the amount of crap.
Yeah.
That you come up with in your head and you put into the
exactly. And so we did a piece on thinking about how we could celebrate these 50 issues without just doing anything generic. So we chose 50 objects that had defined all of our 50 issues. Everything is eclectic from.
Go name a favorite.
I'll start anywhere. James Brown's leather boots.
James Brown's leather boots.
Yeah, which Lenny Kravitz had them in a display case.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of his house in Paris, where we shot him in 2019 for the cover. And they were very small.
Yeah.
He had like tiny feet, James Brown. Anyway, so that shows you we've got the Hotel du Cap diving board, the rooftop sign at the Martinez Hotel in Cannes, the Citron Mahari, Anthony Scaramucci's steak knife. This is how specific we went. But all of these things in their own ways kind of tell stories.
They're all part of interviews, basically.
All part of interviews or places.
The Hotel du Cap diving board.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Pagozzi's pool party.
Johnny Pagozzi's inflatable flamingo. So tiny objects, but then obviously they all
like meant a lot in various ways.
Representative of the eclectic things we've done all over the years. Javier Bardem's toothbrush.
Where was that?
That's when Penelope Cruz
shot our cover. That's cool.
Our greatest coup ever.
That was a
Hugh Jackman's mother's creme caramel. He gave us a recipe for his mother's creme caramel.
Wow. Wow.
Tom Straker's turbot. Tom's done well to get it in this company.
Yeah.
But no, that was a very an iconic shot we did with him with a vast sort of fish in front of his face. Right. The Brooks Brothers credit card. Picasso's lost painting we did a story on in 2019.
Did you go through each issue then, basically?
I got a pile of issues out and dived through it. And it's a dangerous activity. It's like looking at family photo albums. Yeah. You can start to get quite nostalgic and wistful.
But in a good way? Or
in a great way. You realise the sheer amount of stuff, but also quite overwhelming. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
And things, also you look back at things and think how much you stressed and sweated over that one image at the time, and now you think,
well, it's been a big, it's like a huge archive now.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And yeah, we've actually been organising it all.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I guess, I don't know if it's got a value.
Well, who knows?
It's got a personal value to us.
Yeah. If Marco Pierre White's Viper Eau de Vie, he gave us that when we went to meet him during lockdown. At 9:30 in the morning, me and Martin, the podcast producer, went there. And he opened up.
We're about to do something with him again.
There you are. He's going through another glorious
He's very cool.
renaissance.
Were you scared of him?
Yeah, I was scared of him. I mean, not scared of him, just overawed by this man who seemed like a vast figure from another era. And yeah, this bottle was from 1910. It hadn't been opened since 1910, and it had a poisonous viper dissolved and killed inside like a 50% strength liquor.
Okay.
And he said, before we do our interview, you've got to have a sip of this at 9:30 in the morning. And I was sort of like, as ways to start an interview go, that's
probably quite good. At least it calms the nerves.
Yeah, definitely calms the nerves. He then proceeded to smoke 40 cigarettes and drink a bottle of rosé wine. So
he was
definitely calm. Yeah. And do what you want. I asked him,
did you have some rosé?
No, I was trying to be professional.
Oh, I asked him, that's a lie. You must have.
I don't know. Yeah, we didn't film that one, so you'll never know.
Okay.
But I asked him one question, and he just basically told me stories then for an hour and a half. I didn't have to say anything else. It was the easiest podcast ever. So good old Marco. Anyway, so lots of little objects that tell lots.
And then you did a big article called "Drugs for Gucci and Money for Free."
Yes, this is sort of an interview we've done with Oliver Bulow, who it's the third time we've done a story with him, because every few years he just brings out a completely unignorable book that exposes something about wealth, usually in this country, all around the world. He did a story about Money Laundering, an amazing book about money laundering. And his latest, sorry, no, this book is all about money laundering. He's done books about sort of international finance, but this one is called Everyone Loves Our Dollars, and essentially explains how money is laundered around the world and the fact that money laundering really is the crime, as he says, that allows every other crime to happen. If criminals can't wash their ill-gotten gains and use it usefully to buy whatever they want to buy with it, then crime is much less likely to happen. But the complexities and the geniusness of the system and the way that so many seemingly, I guess, legitimate businesses are inadvertently involved in this crazy, massive international laundry is completely eye-opening. And he is a brilliant investigative journalist who goes to the end of the...
What's your thoughts at the end of learning about all of this?
I mean,
is it
almost
quite shocking? Or?
Yeah, it is shocking because, yeah, you realise how much we are all complicit and how many sort of, luxury goods are bound up a lot of the time.
People buying it
as a
clean money,
as a source of currency and selling them in other countries, moving them around as sort of, I guess, proxies for cash. But he takes us through the history of money laundering from...
What about art? Art's quite...
Art, yeah. Art is hugely, a huge tool in that and sort of untraceable and very hard to prove that anything's involved. But, yeah, he starts in the kind of 1970s in Miami which was the sort of the golden age of crime and money laundering, when people would turn up with millions of pounds in duffel bags at legitimate American banks and the banks would just go, yeah, sure, put it in an account, and it was absolutely fine. Now you can't really do that anymore. But so things have got much more, it's such a shame, things have got much more complex.
KYC, as the banks call it.
What's that?
Well, banks
know your client.
People. Yeah, they debank people now. They're not.
They do.
Sure.
They do.
And Nigel Farage.
But one of Oliver's points is that they're often debanking completely the wrong people. Yeah. They debank people who maybe have just got a tangential connection by a surname to something that sounds dodgy but isn't.
Yeah.
And actually the real culprits are not being debanked.
Yeah.
And the question I asked him this time, which I've asked him both other times I've interviewed him, is how you come away from something like this, finding out so much stuff and realizing that nothing is being done about it. How he can do that and stay sort of optimistic about the state of the world. And somehow he manages to, because really this stuff all could be fixed at a governmental level.
Could it actually though? Or
yeah.
Do you think it would?
Yeah, if you read it, but the brilliant thing about it is he doesn't just present the problem. At the end, he does a very clear sort of, I think, 12-point plan about how this can be broken down and how it could be tackled. But with all these things, finite government resources, it's just not really a priority. Like, it's not something that people are voting on in elections. It's not an issue that seemingly affects our lives. But as he says, you take away money laundering, you probably take away 90% of financial crime, and you're left, with probably a much healthier, fairer world. So this was our story, an interview with him on that, and I encourage anyone to read it because it's eye-opening and fascinating, really.
Brilliant. Good. And then we're going to end on the death of the party reporter, which was your first career, wasn't it?
Well, I might, yeah.
Who were you a party reporter for?
I was a party reporter briefly for the Londoners' Diary, which is kind of a rite of passage.
Which kind of was big back in the day. I mean, I guess, you would have Tatler, you would have the Evening Standard.
Yeah.
I remember brands would always want us to get into ES magazine, which is no longer
doesn't exist,
does it?
No.
And it's the Londoners' Diary, I think.
Londoners' Diary does exist, but it's
online.
It's no, I think it's still in
print,
weekly print. But even saying that, I think I'm out of date. Do they still do a weekly print paper?
I don't know.
And who knows?
I don't know.
But it says something that. Wow. But even when I first moved to London, must have been 2012, 2013, all the way up to the pandemic. Yeah. You'd get on the tube, you'd have a copy of the London Evening Standard, you'd turn right to the middle, because the best bit, you weren't. No, I don't think I was ever featured in it. But just that really, you could get news everywhere else, but the only one doing diary reporting was the Londoners' Diary, and it would be genuine good gossip and names of people you might know or names of people who were famous, but kind of beautifully reported. And they had a whole desk, and I worked on it. One of my first jobs.
Really? And you would go out to parties, and you'd
go out to parties, and you'd go up to celebrities. I was uniquely terrible about it. No,
I reckon you were probably quite good. They probably trusted you quite a lot.
No, I was so bad.
And what did you? How would you open conversations?
Well, I did it. You would go up, and often they would have a kind of theme that they wanted you to hit that day. And I remember later I worked for a longer period at the Mail on Sundays diary.
Okay, interesting.
Which was a much more intense place.
Yeah,
as you may
because
expect.
they were after scoops.
They were after big scoops, and it was just the Mail. It's like this terrifying machine. I remember stepping to the office and the size of the newsrooms, and they're proper like old school journo hacks.
Yeah.
Like they don't mess around. And the Evening Standard was a very impressive operation. I was overawed by both of them, but that was one of the most.
Same office,
same building, Northcliffe House. Yeah. But there were lots of newspapers in that building, and the air of paranoia around it because everyone was trying to scoop each other.
Yeah.
It was kind of brilliant, and you weren't meant to talk in the lifts about stories you're working on. It was very
good.
I was a terrible reporter, an even worse diary reporter,
and
I would.
That's where lifestyle journalism found its.
Well, yeah, I had to do anything to get away from it. But I'd work there 5 days a week.
There's quite a lot of famous people who have started off that way.
Yeah,
in the media game.
Definitely. Most
who were at one point a party reporter.
Yeah, it was an amazing kind of proving ground, nursery, petri dish, whatever you want to say for journalism, because it forces you to do the things which you need to do in reporting, which is get out and about, go speak to people you don't want to speak to, who don't want to speak to you, and try and package that up into a kind of a small story, make something from nothing, really.
Yeah.
So when I worked at the Mail on Sunday, we'll stop talking about me in a second, but it's illustrative.
It's good.
When I worked on the Mail on Sunday, they would often have a theme of the week. So that was 2016.
Yeah.
So it was around Brexit. And so you'd have to go up to the opening of a new restaurant which had celebrities and business people. And you'd go up to them and you'd try and get them to give you an inflammatory quote about Brexit or about the single market, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I was a sort of 26-year-old in a really bad suit, desperately sipping warm champagne and just sort of steeling myself to go up to like Peter Capaldi, who would be really nice. And then when I'd ask him the question I was meant to ask him would be like, I'm not being drawn into that. Yeah. So then I'd go to 2 or 3 parties a night.
What's that like when someone's like, I'm not answering that?
It's fine because it's not personal, but
well,
I hated it.
Yeah.
So you just sometimes go to 2 to 3, maybe even 4 parties a night, traveling across London.
Why do you think it's
on your own?
Why do you think it's dying now? Because people love.
Yeah.
I guess Tatler has the bystander that's still strong-ish.
Yes.
And the Daily Mail is obviously the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
So there's still parties in that.
Yeah, there's still parties in that.
But why do you think it's slightly changed? Because I think the Daily Mail's the Daily Mail. Tatler's still, but I've sort of retained it. But all these other places have just lost it.
Definitely. And you look back across the 20th century and, for example, Winston Churchill edited the Londoners' Diary for a couple of years because his son, Randolph Churchill, was running it, and Randolph Churchill had to go just before the war. He had to go to training for a few weeks, 6 weeks somewhere in the countryside, some sort of officer training thing. Winston stepped into his shoes and edited it. So the amount of huge names that have gone through it, I'm just looking at the bold-faced names. Andrew Neil was a diary reporter, obviously hugely influential. Max Hastings, Sarah Sands, who was the first ever female editor of the Evening Standard later on, Giles Corran, Celia Walden.
Yeah.
So many people. Harold Nickerson, Lord Beaverbrook.
Wow.
An amazing, it was just sort of like your entry point into writing.
Is that still a good entry point or not really anymore?
Well, here's the thing. It died over the last 10 years probably. It's died.
Is that in the way that online, do you think?
I think just in a way that a lot of journalism has died. If you've got limited resources in a newsroom, I think it suddenly looks slightly frivolous to have a team of 8 young people who are being
going out to parties on
expense accounts going to parties. And you didn't really need to expense much. You expense the old black cab and you still get told off for it. But it's the first thing to go. But as we argue in this piece, actually some of the really great stories and the colour that's really important for a newspaper, aside from just the facts, comes from the diary desk. But there is hope because there is a kind of renaissance through the newsletter world, through Substacks in particular. And the sort of more glamorous
coming back.
Things like Caper, that Dana does. Things like Lachlan, Cartwright, Breaker Media.
But that's all American stuff.
All American stuff.
Nothing here.
No.
ML, I guess.
ML, a little bit, but again, New York based.
Yeah.
Emily Sundberg.
Maybe we should go into this.
Well, this is surely the conclusion.
Well, there we go.
We don't want to give away these gold here.
There we go. Maybe that's a new newsletter.
Yeah.
Another newsletter that we.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably. I think everyone's getting newsletter fatigue slightly.
I think they are, but the thing that people have identified is this idea of bold names now.
Yeah.
Like anyone can go to a party and take an Instagram thing saying I was there. But if a newsletter is reporting and putting your name in bold saying Harry Jarman was there with XXXXX and your name is bolded up, it's sort of this odd, kind of old school, nostalgic cultural cachet.
Yeah.
Said I was here, and not everyone can have that.
For sure.
And as we get more and more...
I think people still like that. I think there probably is a market for it still.
There is, and it'll come back.
Yeah.
But as you say,
it will come back.
There's a space in London. But yeah, that to me is an incredibly self-indulgent piece. And I write at the start, which was kind of a nice parallel. When I was 18 years old, which is sadly exactly 18 years ago.
Oh, God.
I'm 36 now. When I was 18 years old, fresh out of school.
Not today. It's not your birthday today.
No, gosh.
God, that would be awful. Sorry.
Podcasting on your birthday. Well, what else would you want to do? When I was 18 years old, fresh out of school, I wrote this email to the then social editor at Tatler.
Yeah.
And I found it. I thought I sort of remembered it as I was reporting this piece.
Yeah.
And I found it and thought I've got to go dig that up. And I searched my inbox for it, and eventually I found this email. And it is one of the most embarrassing things.
Just tell us.
I talk about it in this thing. Honestly, it made me feel very, very unwell when I read it.
Yeah.
I described myself as dapperly dressed. I said I had a Wildean wit, a wit as good as Oscar Wilde. I was 18 years old.
You were basically just trying to really show off your...
Yeah, all these phrases.
Abject.
And it was so over the top. And to this woman, Fiona Kent, who I don't know who she is, but she was then the social editor, to her amazing credit, she replied with a very thoughtful, but what I now see with 18 years experience was a no chance, mate. I was pitching myself to reinvent this column, this old column from the 1920s. What on earth I was thinking.
Yeah.
And she says no in a very, very polite way.
Yeah.
But I don't take the hint, and I go back and then like re-pitch it in another way. And then sort of chase her up. Anyway, maybe there was a hint of some sort of...
And then she just doesn't get back to you.
No, I think she did get back to me again and say, maybe, I know how hard it is to get your foot in the door in journalism. Maybe try us in a few years. Basically, when you're not an 18-year-old little twerp. So there was a wonderful symmetry for me that 18 years later, I was able... I've never been a good diary writer, never had a column like that, but able to at least write about it in a nice glossy magazine. So...
Wow.
So there
it sounds like a good article, full of good articles.
Yeah.
So go out and get your hands on a copy.
The 50th issue.
You can go online and grab it, but it's a good one. And what have we got coming up? Anything good coming up? We're currently working on the next issue, aren't we?
We're working on the next issue.
We can't say anything though.
We can't say anything.
But it's good.
It's
good.
Really
and if you also subscribe. If you also subscribe, you will get that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's good.
I think here's to 50 more.
I reckon.
How old will we be then?
Oh, it's another
18 years.
Yeah. It's kind of it kind of is.
It would be.
Which I'm kind of like, let's see.
Who knows what?
It's kind of fun. I enjoy putting them together still.
Yeah.
They still,
I mean, it's still a uniquely lovely thing to do.
They're good. They're good, interesting things, and also just bizarre. And the complete variety of articles.
Yeah, that's it.
Is pretty unique. So here's to another 50.
Here's to another 50 issues.
Thanks for chatting that through.
An absolute pleasure.
Have fun on your holiday tonight.
Thank you.
And speak next time.
We'll speak next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.